The Holiday, 2006. Oh, this I saw in the cinema when it was first released. It's one of those films with a fairly low tomatometer score, 51% aggregate, whilst the score from the average punter is 80%. The film is about a home exchange between a woman living in deepest Surrey and another woman who's living in Los Angeles. They're both fairly successful. There's Iris, played by Kate Winslet, and Amanda, played by Cameron Diaz. They've both had very tumultuous relationships with boyfriends. Things have not gone well, so they've decided to take 2 weeks time out. It's just by coincidence Amanda stumbles upon an advert that Iris has put up. Of course, it's a kind of romance. I really needed to see a romance after seeing some fairly heavy films. It's more substantial than the Hallmark films I've been watching recently. It is Christmas related. The Holiday means Christmas effectively in the USA. Holiday is more, it's got a different meaning really to in English. The other stars in this film are Jack Black and Jude Law and a few others. There's Shannon Sussman. And actually the first thing I ever heard about this film was when a friend in Los Angeles who was a Shannon Sussman fan at that time suggested I could probably find the film set because it was just a hop, skip and a jump away in Surrey. And as it happens, I had a friend in Guildford and I thought it might be possible, but I think the filming was during the working week and I thought there's no way I'm going to get out there. And anyway, film sets, I had stumbled upon V for Vendetta being filmed, but it's not often like that. You can't really, people don't really allow you in to hobnob with the stars. I think of it as a film you can be swallowed up in to some extent, because if you like romantic dramas to an extent, and I think I did more 20 years ago, probably not so much now, or at least I've become a bit more cynical about it all. I found especially Amanda's character, I was thinking she was being a very subservient in some respects when talking with Jude Law's character. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I just felt, considering Amanda was like a high-hitting hotshot of a drama producer in Hollywood, television drama. Her adverts for programs were appearing on telly, and one of the things that appears in her imagination is like a film trailer about her particular life, a sort of running commentary on how she's doing in terms of romance or the lack of it. So there's a tension between the wealth, the temperature, the climate, the Santa Ana winds in California bringing warm weather to Los Angeles compared to snow in the ground in London. Not that it does snow that often in London at Christmas time. There's all the sort of awkward complications about the people, like the men who've cheated on the two main characters and Shannon Sussman's character Maggie as well. There's some complication there with Jack Black's character. So there's that. There's the more he side, the sort of less plausible side. Would a woman with Amanda's success and status swoon the way she does when she falls a bit for one of the men, well, the guy she meets. There's other stuff that's quite lovely in the story. I like the bit where there's a 90-something-year-old Hollywood producer who Iris were friends, and that's a really nice story because there's a real nod to Hollywood, to the golden age of Hollywood, to the films of the past, and there's so many references to these films. Some of them, since 2021, I've been watching old films from the 20th century and often golden age films. It was once when I stalled in the middle of a film I didn't really like, and I mentioned it on Facebook, and a friend and former colleague suggested, why didn't I just start watching golden age films? And so for the last 5 years, I've been doing a lot of that. So there's a cameo by Dustin Hoffman, and that's quite funny because, like, going through DVDs, and that's what shows the age of this film. The fact that there's DVDs, there's a whole store full of them, and I was thinking it was like that 20 years ago. I was thinking it was more like the 90s, but even in the noughties, we had a lot of DVDs. I mean, actually, I did buy a lot of my DVDs at that time. They were only actually being introduced in the 90s. I like the segues between the locations and also even just the cut between some scenes in the same location. By watching it again, which I did last night, I'm reminded of things, and also I'm not sure I picked up on things like the term meet cute, which has since made it into a film, but I glossed over it when I first saw this in 2006. I'm going to score it 8 out of 10 because it's still, I mean, it's got some elements that are a bit like Love Actually, but in a way, I prefer it to Love Actually now as a film, as a Christmas film. I'd love to know what you think if you've seen this film. Please like if you like this review. Thanks if you subscribe. Please hit the notification button. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.